Harvest Weekend at Highbury has brought the church family together to share visions and dream dreams. It all began back in January when we asked what was special about Highbury. And now, over this weekend, we've been looking to the future. How might we plan for the future of our church? The weekend came to a close as the church family gathered together for breakfast on Sunday morning. The breakfast coming towards an end, our worship began, and in our worship we looked back over all that we had shared through the weekend. We looked at those things that we had decided make Highbury special, the warmth of welcome, our mission, our pastoral care. And then we looked back to the Church of the New Testament and visited some of those churches that Paul was very involved in: Ephesus, Colossae, Philippi. We thought about the nature of the church in the New Testament, and then we compared then and now and asked, so what can we do here at Highbury now and into the future? And we aim to focus on three things. Mission and outreach should be all important, underpinned by a renewal of our church family, sharing the gifts that we all have. And then each of us focused in personal faith and prayer, specifically on the needs of our church and community and world around us. Belonging to the church at Highbury, we have a commitment to the community around, and this year we've been supporting CCP and its Food Share project. That's a project we want to build up our support for in providing food parcels for people in desperate need here in Cheltenham. One of the great things about belonging to church is that to belong to one church in a local place means that we belong to the church worldwide. And so we invited a visitor to join us to tell us about the other part of our support this Harvest Weekend, the Congregational Federation's Nicaragua project, and Philip Clark.
Okay. Hello, my name's Philip Clark. I've been here today sharing with the folk at Highbury Congregational Church. The reason I've been invited is to talk about the Nicaragua appeal, which churches across the Congregational Federation have been supporting over a 3-year period. We're partnering with Christian Aid to support their work across the country of Nicaragua. I was privileged enough to go to Nicaragua in April, met the Christian Aid staff working, met their partners that they're working with in Nicaragua, and most importantly met some of the local people who are actually benefiting from the work that Christian Aid is doing. It was a hugely inspiring visit for me, a wonderful opportunity to see the great work that Christian Aid is doing, that of course we're all supporting, but most particularly it was a real privilege to meet some of the very inspiring people. I keep using that word, don't I? Very inspiring people that are living in Nicaragua, who are in often very desperate situations of poverty, but have done so much with the support of Christian Aid to lift themselves out of poverty. And what was really encouraging was how many of them are young people and how many of them are women, because it is a very sort of male-dominated society, and it was great to see the young people and the women actually taking a place in their communities and actually making a real difference to the lives of the people with whom they live.
Great, and it's wonderful to have that partnership with our federation churches to give that support and to see that the money is well spent and that the support is really effective in what they do over in Nicaragua.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, one of the reasons we were there was to see that work at first hand for ourselves, and then we can go back and tell churches across the country about that. But I think also it was really important for the local people in Nicaragua to see that there's people on the other side of the world, people they would otherwise never get to meet, to know that we are praying for them, we are trying to raise money for them, and we do care about them. I heard a nice story a couple of weeks ago. We produced a new appeal poster as part of Christian Aid's work, as part of the appeal, and it features one of the ladies that we met. And the Christian Aid office in Managua in Nicaragua are going to get that poster framed, and then they're going to give the lady a copy of that poster. So in her very, very basic house in the southern area of Nicaragua, there will be a Congregational Federation poster there.
Wonderful. And what should our prayers be then for those folk in Nicaragua and for Christian Aid?
Our prayers, I think, should be firstly for the Christian Aid staff in Nicaragua, that they will have that they will be able to get to support the projects that they're working with, that the money will get to them, and that they won't feel that they are too isolated in their office. I think for the local people, it's really about giving them praying that they will have the confidence and the courage and the support to carry on with the important work they're doing. I heard only this week that Nicaragua has just suffered one of the worst harvests it has in recent years, and particularly in the southern area, which is very dry and arid anyway, they've had a very poor harvest, and consequently some of the crops that Christian Aid partners and the local people are growing to try to produce a cash crop to make a difference in their lives, those harvests have been very bad. So if we could remember those people in particular.
To find out more about Highbury, visit www.highburychurch.co.uk.